Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Rail Chief here, and as you can tell by today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Lionel 2021 Volume 1 catalog, which just released on January 22nd of this year. Now, there's been a lot of mixed reviews and concerns about some of the items in this catalog, and in today's episode, I'm going to be sharing some of my thoughts on some of the items that Lionel's putting out this year, and I'm going to be talking about some of the things that I did like and some of the things that I didn't like about this catalog. But anyway, as we look at the cover, we see that Lionel is releasing a new model of the Amtrak Excella, and the last time Lionel has introduced the Excella was around 2005. Now, the 2005 version had a lot of problems, and so Lionel's planning to make some changes to this version in particular. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into the catalog, guys. Okay, so we're on the first page here, and as we see at the top here, we have the table of content that Lionel's offering. And at the bottom here, we see some categories for O-scale, O-traditional, some Christmas items, and some accessories to expand your layout with. And here on page 2, we have a new feature that's going to be coming out for Lionel Plus on the Lionel Plus app, and that is voiceover control. And what that's going to be, let me start that again. What you're going to be doing with this app is you're going to have the option to control your Lionel Plus engines with your iPhone. And if you want to follow Lionel on other types of social media, you can check them out on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. But anyway, let's move along, guys. Okay, so here we have a sneak peek at some O-scale stuff, as well as some of the new equipment for Legacy this year, which is pretty cool. Alright, so starting up with our first item here, we have Lionel's reproduction of the Santa Fe Vision Line 210-10-2 type steam locomotive, and Lionel's offering 4 models this year. The first model that we see at the top is the Santa Fe Valley Flyer set, and this locomotive is painted in the gorgeous paint scheme of the Santa Fe Railway. The next model we have at the bottom here is the 3009, which is the black version, and this locomotive will feature black wheels and darkened drive rods. The next locomotive to the right of it is the Santa Fe Black Bonnet paint scheme, and this is the classic what-if paint scheme for the Santa Fe Railway. And then last but not least, we have the Santa Fe 3001, and this model will feature white wheel rims, and polished drive rods. And the features on these locomotives will have whistle steam, legacy sound system, the blow-down steam effect, the swinging bell. The length of these engines are 31 inches, and the minimum curves are 0.72. Next up, we have the Lionel USRA Pacifics, and there's 5 different models, as you see here. Up at the top, we have an Atlantic Coastline model. We also have a Great Northern model. Next to that, we have the Nickel Plate Road version. We also have a Union Pacific version. And we also have a Southern Pacific version, numbered 611, and not to be confused with Norfolk and Western 611. But anyway, moving along, we got some more Pacifics here. We got a Gulf Mobile and Ohio version. We also have an MKT version. And down at the bottom, we have the passenger car set, which is a 2-pack, as well as the Station Sounds dining car, which I think is pretty cool. But anyway, moving along. Alright, so next up, we have the Lionel Camelbacks. We have 8 different models here. We have 2 Jersey Central Camelbacks, featuring the one on the top and, of course, the Blue Comet set on the bottom. We also have a Delaware and Hudson model. We also have a Halloween set. We also have a NYD&W work train. We also have a Reading model, a Strasburg model, and we also have a Long Island model. Now, out of all of these, I'm thinking about getting the Jersey Central 774 model all the way at the top here. And the minimum curves are 031. Alright, next up we have Lionel's reproduction of the L2A Mohawk, and these locomotives will feature whistle steam. And as for the Mohawk itself, Lionel's offering 7 different models this year. We have 6 New York Central paint schemes, and we also have a New Haven paint scheme. And the rest of the features on this engine will have legacy sound systems. The length of the locomotive is 25.5 inches, and the minimum curves are 054. And down at the bottom here, we have the freight car set, which features 5 boxcars and a matching caboose. And the features of these cars will have die-cast trucks and couplers, LED lights for the caboose. The boxcars will feature operating doors, and the minimum curves for these freight cars will be 031. Alright, so next up we have the diesels. And this next part of the catalog is the one I've been hearing many complaints about. Here we have the SD70 Ace locomotive, and Lionel's offering 8 different models. The first model that we see at the top here is an Atlantic Coastline. We also have Kansas City Southern. We have the Santa Fe model. We also have Baltimore and Ohio, Boston and Maine, Canadian Pacific, Great Northern, and we also have a Modon version as well. And as for when it comes to the most accurate SD70 Ace locomotive, the Kansas City Southern is the most accurate. And the minimum curves for these locomotives are 036. But anyway, next up, we have some Alcos here. We have MKT, we got New Haven, we got a Cotton Belt model. We also have a Delaware and Hudson version here. We also have the Erie Lackawanna version, and both of these locomotives are passenger trains. And then the last model here, we have a Gulf Mobile and Ohio version, and the minimum curves for these Alcos are 036, and the passenger cars are 054. And these are very nice looking models, but again, I'm not sure if I'm going to pick these up or not, because I don't really have the money for these right now. But anyway, next up we have the GP30s, and I'm not going to go into detail on which locomotives these are because they show them very well right on the page here. All right, next up we have the Verinda turbine. I hope that I'm really pronouncing that correctly. But anyway, again, none of these are really prototypical except for the 2 Union Pacific engines, which you see at the the left side of the catalog here. But anyway, as for the features, they will have a legacy sound system, die-cast bodies. They will also have cab interior, dual smoke units, super bass sound from the tender, and smoke and speed. And the length of these engines will be 30 inches, and the minimum curves are 072. But anyway, moving along, we also have the SW8 switchers, which are also pretty nice. These switchers, again, new tooling, legacy sound systems, fixed pilots, single motor. The length of these engines will be 12.5 inches, and the minimum curves will be 031. And the price tag for these engines will be about $500. And now, here is the moment that we've all been waiting for. This is Lionel's reproduction of the Amtrak Excella, which Lionel has released back around 2005. And it's a very nice looking reproduction. Lionel's offering a couple different models, as you see here. But as you can tell, the one at the top is more prototypical, and the one at the bottom is actually a little outdated. But anyway, Lionel did mention that these locomotives will not have the operating passenger car doors, nor will it have the operating pantographs, I believe. But the one thing that kind of frustrates me about these Amtrak Excelas is the price tag, and this whole train set will cost about $2,500, which is insane if you ask me. And as for the passenger car set, it will cost around $1,000 a piece. But anyway, as for the other couple of pages that I'm going to show you, those aren't really prototypical Excelas, so we're just going to ignore those for now. Alright, next up we have this very nice looking nickel plate road switcher, and we also have an expansion pack down at the bottom here. But as for the freight train, the set will feature 2 work cars, a tank car, and a flat car with a ballast tamper on top of it. And the length of the whole train set will be 57.5 inches, and the minimum curves will require 036 for this whole train set. Alright, next up we have a couple of other train sets here. We have another Pacific locomotive at the top here, and at the bottom here we have an excursion train set, which is pretty nice. Next up we have a New York Central train set, and this is the 1926 Cardinals train set, and the whole set will cost around $2,100. As for the 2-pack, it will only be charged $400, and the Station Sounds dining car will be $370. But next up, we have a Santa Fe Valley Flyer train set, which is also pretty nice. And this next part of the catalog is the one that piqued my interest the most. This is Lionel's reproduction of the John Bull train set, and Lionel's offering a bunch of different models here. The first one that we see at the top here is the Pennsylvania John Bull display train set, which has the John Bull on one flat car and the passenger car on another flat car. And down at the bottom here, we have the classic John Bull train set. And all the way down to the bottom of that one, we have the Uncle Sam John Bull train set. And these are actually pretty nice. And the one thing I really like about them is that they will require 031 type track. But anyway, next up we have the Rio Grande ski train with no engine. Next up we have some Vision Line boxcars, some 65 mil gondolas, beer cars, tool cars, kitchen and tool cars, and some standard O cars, which are very nice looking. Next up, we have the TMCC speeders. Now, the one thing I really don't like about these speeders in particular is that they don't have any sound system in them. And there's really not much that you could do with them other than just running them around your layout. So until Lionel modifies that situation, I think I'm going to pass on these for now. All right, next up, we have a sneak peek at some O-gauge items. All right, here we have another sneak peek at Line Sheet Plus. And did it ever occur to anyone that Lionel did not release the Lion Master Big Boy in this catalog, nor did they re-release the Cab Forward? Just pointing that out there. But anyway, starting off with our first O-gauge item, we have Lionel's model of these baby K4 Pacifics. And these are actually really nice looking models. Lionel's offering 4 different versions this year. They're offering 3 Brunswick green versions, and they're also offering a Tuscan red version, which I think I might pick up sometime in the future. But anyway, moving along. Next we have the RS3s. We have a Lehigh Valley version. We also have Pennsylvania, Santa Fe, and Southern. And as for the Jeeps, again, these aren't really too new, so I'm just going to skip over these. All right, we have some Thomas stuff. Going to skip over that. We have Toy Story, Pixar, Frozen. And next up, we have this very nice looking John Deere work train. We have a very nice GP30 type locomotive with a tank car, flat car, and the caboose, which is pretty nice. And up at the top here, Lionel's offering a John Deere gas station, which I think is pretty cool. And all the way at the top on the right-hand side, we see the Lionel flat car with the 3 John Deere tractors on it. And if you guys haven't seen my review on that car, I'll leave a link down in the description. But anyway, I'm just gonna skip over a couple of these. We have Star Trek. We have some starter sets. And here we have the Lionel Lions starter set. And again, this set is not really too new. Lionel released this last year. However, the one thing that is new here is this blue flat car down at the bottom with the orange Lionel hand car on top. And I think I actually might get this as well. I mean, it's not really common to find a blue flat car with a hand car on top of it, so I think I might get this car. And the best part about it is that it requires 031 track sections. All right, next up we got the Santa Fe. We got some starter sets. Some more starter sets. Some more diesels. And next up we have the Lionel Generals here. The first General that we see at the top here is this Western Atlantic. And down at the bottom here, we have a very nice looking Pennsylvania General set as well. And the reasonable price for these engines will be around $250. And on the right side of the catalog here, we have some more 080 switchers. Next up, we have some U36Bs with some GP38s. We have some Looney Tunes, some Scooby-Doo stuff. We also have the Batman freight car set. We also have some Ford cars, which are pretty nice. Some Battlefront Honor, some presidential cars. Alright, next up we have the Hopper 6-pack here, as well as the Ore Car 6-pack. And out of all of these, the Union Pacific 6-pack is the one I really want to get the most, because I don't have a whole lot of Union Pacific freight cars in my collection. And the best part is that these cars will only cost $150, and that the minimum curves will be 027, which is really nice. Alright, next up we have some stored cars. We have a Lionel Ale car, some maxi stacks, and some submarine cars, which are very nice. Except for that shark fin one, which I'm not really a fan of. But anyway, next up we have some Christmas items. And we have some more Polar Express. And what is this at the bottom here? I mean, really, Lionel? You guys have to offer a Polar Express Amtrak Excella for $2,500. I mean, why? I mean, I don't really see what the point here is. I don't know. I mean, I get you guys want to add more Polar Express engines into your roster, but I don't think this was really necessary, at least in my opinion. Anyway, here we have some more Polar Express stuff. We got some more passenger cars, freight cars, some accessories. Alright, next up we have some Disney stuff and some more Christmas stuff. Here's some Angela Trotta Thomas items, if you guys are a fan of hers. We also have some more Christmas items, some more accessories, some Expand Your World accessories. Here we have the Beacon Tower, the gas station. Lionel's bringing back the talking station as well, along with a couple of tanks. Here we have some more buildings, some more accessories. I'm just going to skip over these. Alright, next up we have the kits, which are also very nice. So instead of buying a expensive Lionel building, you could just buy one of these inexpensive kits, which are also really nice that you could put together. Here we got some more accessories, some yard lights, signals, figures, some fast track, some layout tips and tricks. And here we have some HO stuff, which is a story from another day. And here we have the ready-to-play Lionel train sets, which are battery-powered. And this is good in case you might have kids in your family. And here we have the Lionel Collectors Club of America section. We also have a custom table that you could buy from Lionel, which is really cool. And last but not least, we have some photos of a lot of people's memories who absolutely love Lionel trains. Alright, so we're back here, we're back down in the basement here, and let me take a couple of minutes and talk about the experience I had from the 2021 Lionel Volume 1 catalog and explain about some of the things that I did like and some of the things that I didn't like about this catalog. The one thing I will say is that it's slightly better than last year's catalog, but I feel like some of the items that they shown were not as great, like some of the items that they showed in last year's Lionel catalog. Starting off with the positive stuff that I liked was the 6-pack of hoppers, which I am thinking about getting sometime down the road. I also liked the John Bull sets that Lionel is offering for 031. I also really liked the blue flat car, which had the orange hand car on top of it. And if you guys haven't noticed, it's basically the same flat car design for the Lionel Searchlight car, which I think is pretty cool. And if the hand car works, then count me in. And I also like the Baby K4s, which are also very nice. I might get the Tuscan Red version. I'm not really sure yet. But anyway, as for the things that I didn't really like about the catalog was the pricing on some of their items. Like, for example, the 2-10-10-2, which Lionel is re-releasing this year. I feel that should just come down just a little bit. So instead of maybe like $2,500, I feel like they should go maybe $1,200 instead. But again, it's Lionel. It's the quality. The quality is not going down anytime soon. And the same thing for the Amtrak Excella. I feel like since Lionel is not adding the operating doors on the Excella this year, I feel like they should go down with the price as well. But anyway, as for my final score of the catalog, I would probably give this catalog a 7.2. Again, some of the stuff in this catalog is slightly better than last year, but again, at the same time, some of the other items in this catalog, I feel like Lionel should reconsider on lowering the prices on some of their items. But like the old saying goes, if Lionel is the leader, then they really need to take the lead. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun making it. And thank you guys for watching. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell for any other videos that I upload. And if you guys want to follow me on other types of social media, you can follow me at RailChief74 at Instagram, as well as RailChief74 at TikTok. But anyway, that's all for now, and hope to see you guys next time. Take care, guys.